Okay, so day 10 review. After the crazy day 9 broken brake lever, um, we decided to just go ahead and stay another day in Logan and take a rest day. Sarah was kind of frustrated that she broke her bike, even though, she didn't get hurt. Um, we were all just tired. I mean, we spent so much energy getting back up that hill that we just wanted to sleep in. I think we didn't get up till like 10:30, 11 o'clock. First thing I did when I got up was hit Google and type aluminum welding Logan, Utah. And I found this RYFAB, RYFAB. And it was this place right on the edge of town, just a couple miles from us. So I shook Daniel, got him out of bed, let Sarah sleep in. And we took her bike and we finally found this place and rolled up in front of it. And it was just kind of out in the middle of nowhere on the edge of town. And the guy sees us roll up and kind of looks at us like, what you doing here? And, he wasn't mean or anything. Told him what was going on, and he looked at it and said, yeah, we do aluminum welding. I was like, well, do you think you can help us? He's like, sure. And at first, he thought he could maybe do it on the bike, but then he said it'd probably be easier to do it with the lever off the bike. So Daniel and I busted out the tools and got the lever off the bike, and he took it in the shop and gave it to one of his guys, and they ground the edges smooth enough that they could weld it. And he got it pretty close to back to straight. The foot pedal part sticks a little bit out away from the bike more than it probably should, but you know what? It's fixed. And Sarah rode it and says it works great. Daniel rode it, said it works great. So we got a brake lever. That's a good thing. So we got that done, went back to the hotel. Got Sarah, decided they wanted Chick-fil-A for lunch, so got an Uber. He took us to nearby Chick-fil-A. And Logan's one of those towns that's been growing like crazy. Utah State University is there, and you go up and down the main street and there's so much new construction, new shopping centers, new stores, new restaurants, new everything. So we went to the Chick-fil-A, and while we're sitting at Chick-fil-A, it just starts to pour down rain. And Daniel wanted to go to this indoor climbing place. It was only like a mile away, and we could have maybe walked, but it was just pouring down rain. So we sat, and finally we decided to get another Uber, and it was like twice what it was to get to the Chick-fil-A, just to go a mile. So we waited because it said, it was a busy time. Finally, it came back down to about, I want to say $8 or something. And the same guy showed up. And Uber, it's like your whole business model depends on pleasing your customers. You would think you'd have a clean car. I mean, it's kind of like a restaurant. You don't want to have a nasty, dirty restaurant when people come in to eat there. So, the first time we get in this guy's car, it's the same dude that brought us to the Chick-fil-A. I got to sit in the front because it's a 4-seat car, and he's got empty Coke bottles in the floorboard. He's got all kinds of junk in the front seat, and he's trying to get it all out of the way. And yeah, just ignore that, because I got to put my feet all over the top of it. And I'm like, okay. I mean, he was a really nice guy, but it's like, dude, throw your trash away. How hard can that be? But whatever. He came, picked us up again, and he took us over to this indoor climbing place, which Daniel absolutely loves doing. And we did that for, I don't know, a couple hours. Daniel did that for a couple hours. I have nothing to do with it. I just take pictures and video. I don't rock climb. Sarah has done rock climbing, but chose not to at this time. So the two of us just kind of hung out. And it was an interesting place full of interesting people. And after he got tired of that, we got a different Uber. It was a girl this was like her 14th drive or pickup or whatever. And she was much nicer. Her car was very clean, and she took us back to the hotel. And at that point, we were like ready for the hot tub and the swimming pool. And they actually had a really nice hot tub, so we just sat in there and visited with some folks. And then decided we were going to go get dinner, and we smelled barbecue when we walked out in the parking lot. I went, oh my God, there's barbecue here. Yeah, well, there's not. So we found that out after walking around all over the place, and eventually got pretty far down the street, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 long blocks from the hotel. And they had this place called Angie's. It's a kind of a more traditional diner. You know, it had the long bar and used to have seats there. You could tell where they took the seats out. The seating area for people who were waiting to eat was almost as large as the seating area for people who were already eating. And I asked the waitress about that. It's like, oh yeah, on the weekends, Saturday, Sunday, you know, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, it will be absolutely packed, and the entire waiting area will be full. Now, fortunately, it's all inside and air conditioned and all that. So we get in there and they do breakfast all the time. So we order breakfast. Daniel just gets a pancake stack, and Sarah and I split this meat lover omelet with a scone. And we're thinking we're getting a scone like we had at that Chick's Cafe a couple days ago. It was like maybe, I don't know, 6 inches by 6 inches, maybe an inch thick. This was like a Texas chicken fried steak. It came on a huge plate. It was hanging off on both ends. She brought us a bucket of butter to put on this thing. And then we made the mistake of putting syrup on it too. Oh my God. We ate that. Sarah and I split and ate that whole thing. It was really good. And on the walk back to the hotel, man, I was on a sugar buzz like you wouldn't believe. But, you know, it was a fun day just hanging out, being off the bikes. Met some interesting people in the hot tub. You know, a guy from Dallas who brought his son up here to drop him off for his freshman year at Utah State, which was kind of cool. He's studying to be a mechanic and apparently knows some people, and he's trying to get into like Formula One auto mechanic type stuff, working on the cars, which would be pretty cool. You get to travel around the world if you get in on that. And I would assume it'd be pretty good money too. So anyway, you know, stayed up, worked on ride reports, pictures, all that kind of stuff, and knocked off so we could get up at a decent time and try to get the trip back on track. And it was just a really good day. So anyway, until next time, which will be in a few minutes because I didn't do the update the other day, so I'm gonna have to do a second update. So I'm gonna look like a ghost again because I'm sitting out in the street and there's not a whole lot of light out here. So, end the video. Bye.